Hello, Artemir the Violet Wizard here, and welcome to the final episode of my Pokemon Gold stream series. Last time, we caught the last legendary Pokemon we needed to Lugia, and defeated the final gym leader, unlocking the way to our final destination, Mount Silver. Before we progress any farther, I want to give one final overview of this team that we have built over the course of this journey. Since the last stream, I trained everyone up to level 60 so that we're prepared for the battle ahead. And believe it or not, we're still under-leveled for this fight, but I still think we're going to do very well. First up, we have Pompey, who's been a pretty good team member throughout this playthrough with some very solid moves, very good offensive stats. He's been a very surprising team member. I wasn't originally intending to add him to the team, but that encounter in the Burn Tower just changed this playthrough, and I think for the better, because Pompey's been amazing. Then of course we have Halberd, the first Pokemon I ever caught in this adventure. He's probably the weakest member of the team in terms of stats, but he still has very good attack and speed, and he's been very reliable for us throughout this journey. And I'm excited to see him all the way to the end here. Then of course we have Jillian, our powerful and fast special tank, who's been just fantastic since the moment we got her, and since the moment she evolved. With great offensive coverage and great defensive typing and stats, she's been a very reliable tank for us, and she's also been very fast and a great attacker. Very excited to carry her to the end. Then of course there's our starter, Kale the Meganium. I know his line aren't exactly popular compared to Typhlosion and Feraligatr, but he's been a very reliable team member with very high defenses, and the rest of his stats are pretty good too, so he's been very reliable even offensively in the many battles we're in. I've chained up his moveset quite a bit since last time. He now has Solar Beam and Giga Drain for some more powerful grass stab attacks. Solar Beam will also work very well in tandem with Pompey's Sunny Day, making Kale a much better attacker. Then of course we have Jean, our Ampharos, who just since the moment we got her has been an incredible addition to this team, with excellent offensive and defensive capabilities. I decided to get rid of Thunder Wave on her in exchange for Thunder, because I believe we're going to be dealing with Rain in the final battle ahead, so I think Thunder will be good for the additional damage. I've also given her the Focus Band instead of the Amulet Coin, just as extra insurance in case she does take a fatal hit, but is able to hang in there. That's what that item is for. It's pretty good. And then finally, we have Garnet, the most recent addition to the team, but one that I'm very happy I brought in with us. With very high HP and attack power, she's just been an incredible force against everything I sent her out against. Earthquake is fantastic as stab. I've given her both Iron Tail and Takedown for some extra offensive uses. Unfortunately, Horn Drill is not going to be effective at all in the battle ahead, but I decided to keep it just because. I would have given her Sandstorm, but unfortunately we don't have other team members that can reliably benefit from that move, and I don't think it'll be very useful on the road ahead. But with that said, it's time we finally enter the last challenge of this game. And no, I'm not referring to you, Tangela. So I'm gonna try not to get into many battles here, just so that we can conserve our power points. So the Mount Silver interior is dark. You'll want to have a Pokemon with Flash in order to get through here. This place is not really too daunting. There are some high-level wild Pokemon here, but nothing we haven't encountered before. Well, actually, there are a few new Pokemon in here that we haven't seen previously. So I believe earlier during my training, I did go in here and I did grab a few items, but it's not going to be that big of an issue for us. But yeah, this is going to be the final episode of this gold playthrough. It's kind of a melancholy feeling for me, especially given how late it is right now, but I think that now is as good of a time as any to finally put this series to rest. I really enjoyed this gold playthrough. It was really great revisiting this game, despite the amount of flaws that I do see that are in this game after all these years, and just how later games have vastly improved upon the Pokemon series. But still, it was a very fun experience getting to revisit this game again. I am kind of sad that it's almost over, but I'm also excited to get into some new content. Get to play a lot more games, have a bunch of fresh new experiences. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the future of this channel. As I said before, there's not a whole lot here that we haven't seen previously in terms of wild Pokemon. You still got your standard Gravelers and Onixes here, but there are a few new faces that we haven't seen yet. And if we're lucky enough to encounter them, I'll definitely point them out. And if we don't, I'll bring them up before we face our final challenge. It's lucky that we got that max elixir there. That'll be very helpful. Hello, Ursaring. You are quite the powerhouse. But we're not dealing with you here. So I want to say that there's an item down here. Yeah, we got an Ultra Ball. Don't really need that, but thank you for your time. Hello there, Ursaring again. We're just gonna disregard you and move forward. Now, obviously, Mount Silver has changed a lot between the original games and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Like, this place is much larger in the remakes. This area over here we can reach with Waterfall, but I don't have it on me, and I don't think it's necessary to progress the story here, so we're going to ignore that. So, going back to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, this place is a lot bigger in those games, and has a lot of different changes. Like, for one, the 4th generation introduced a move called Rock Climb, which is an HM move that allows you to traverse certain terrain, and allows you to climb like very steep cliffs. And they had a lot of places in Mount Silver where you needed to use that move in order to progress and also to grab certain items. So they changed the layout of this place a lot with that, but there is also one other thing, this one other addition they make to this game. Oh, we're at the end. But pretty much, this is the place where you can encounter Moltres, the legendary fire Pokemon of the Kanto region, but only in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You cannot encounter any of the Kanto legendaries in this game, unfortunately. Meanwhile, what we just saw there was Larvitar. It's a rock ground type Pokemon that evolves into pretty much the Dragonite equivalent of this game called Tyranitar, which is a rock dark type, very powerful attacker. It's got a very unique typing. It's just a very solid Pokemon that's still very popular among fans. But we're finally here. Man, considering how... No, I still needed to do the training, so I probably couldn't have gotten this done in the... I highly recommend saving your game before doing this. Also have a save state ready, just in case. Alright. Well, you're a very talkative person, aren't you? Say hello to the original champion, Red, the protagonist from the very first generation of games. Yeah, no joke, this is the playable character from Red and Blue, who is now the final boss of Gold and Silver. Like, this is a really cool idea that I don't think a lot of games do, where they have the sequels follow up by putting the protagonist of the last game as the final challenge of the sequel. Like, that's a really cool concept, and I'm really glad that they did this here. Red is no joke. He has the strongest trainer team out of anything we have ever seen in this game. He starts off with Pikachu, which is his highest level Pokemon, at 81. But it goes down very easily to ground types. Which is why I have Garnet here. Thank you, little girl. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Next Pokemon he's sending out is Espeon. So, not really sure who I want to use against this thing. I'm probably going to go to Halberd. Don't really know how well he's going to do here. Espeon. It's a pure Psychic type Pokemon. It's very fast, has very high special attack. This thing is no joke. You want to kill this thing right away. Aw, dang, I just realized something. And I'm just gonna low my state right now. I didn't realize until the end here, I forgot to turn battle animations back on from training. Alright, let's try that again. Woo! Sucked away all the dramatic tension of this battle, didn't it? Wait. Alright, now that I'm actually prepared for this, let's put Garnet in the front of the party so that she can take out Pikachu on the very first turn. So we don't have to worry about that later. Yes, Pikachu has Charm, which is an attack it can only get in the Pichu stage of its life cycle. Which, it's a good debuffing move. I could see it being helpful on... if you intend to have Raichu on your team. In order to get around how low that Pokemon line's defense tends to be. But anyway, we got Espeon here to deal with. I'm going for Halberd here, just because he's very fast, and Espeon does not have very high physical defense. That's why it's using Reflect here, to try to give it a bit of extra defense. And unfortunately, Halberd's not doing a lot of damage here. And this Psychic is gonna hurt. I actually recommend having a Dark type for this fight, because this Espeon is no joke. Ooh, almost took Halberd out there. Unfortunately, he cannot take another hit from this thing. I really don't want to have to... There's nothing I can really do here to safely switch out to another teammate, so I'll let Halberd take this hit. Thank you, buddy. And we are gonna go to Kale. We don't have a lot of good offensive options against Espeon here, so let's go on the defense. Set up a light screen so that Kale and the rest of the party can take its attacks better, and then we should be good. But yeah, as you can see there, Espeon is no joke. It's one of the best special attackers you can get in this game. So this is actually a detail, the final battle, that is different between the original games and the remakes. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, instead of an Espeon, he uses a Lapras, which I guess is meant to represent the Lapras you get in Silph Co, which is a nice attention to detail. Meanwhile, having an Espeon on his team, it's like he is using the Eevee that you get in Celadon, which is another nice attention to detail, while also adding continuity to the series. But going for Giga Drain here, it does pretty good damage, and it will also restore Kale's health. So hopefully that did pretty good damage. Alright. So that'll help Kale take these hits a little bit better. We still got Light Screen up, so we should be pretty good here. Probably want to heal up soon, because this Espeon is very strong. Come on. Ugh, so close. Alright, just in case this thing goes for an item, let's go for Body Slam. Because this thing's Reflect is down. Come on, buddy, you can take this hit. Yeah, very good. And Body Slam takes it out with a crit. Thank you, Kale. Alright, what's coming up next? Venusaur. It's probably going for that for the poison coverage. Alright, we'll go to Pompeii for this. This Venusaur is pretty dang tough. And I guess it's heavily implied to be the evolved form of the Bulbasaur that you get in Cerulean City in Yellow version. Again, nice little bit of continuity. This Venusaur is pretty tough. It's a good attacker, it's pretty bulky, so it can be a bit of a pain to deal with. You can see there, it took that Flamethrower pretty well, all things considered. It's charging up a Solar Beam this turn, so hopefully Flamethrower is able to get the KO. There we go! Pompeii takes out Venusaur. We're already halfway through this battle, but it's not gonna get a whole lot easier here. It's got Blastoise now. This thing will be tough. I like to go to Kale here, but he's very low on health, so let's go to Gene. Blastoise is a very, very good tank. I'm gonna go for Flash here to try and lower its chance of getting in some good hits here. It's a very solid tank with very good defenses, but it's got pretty good offensive stats as well. It's using Rain Dance there to increase the power of its water attacks, but it also helps Gene here because we can use Thunder now. Because when it's raining, Thunder has 100 accuracy, making it very, very effective against water types. Ooh, as you can see there, that was just a very powerful hit. Blastoise was able to do a lot of damage, but hopefully Thunder, yeah, critical hit from Gene, well done. Ah, that's so good. Took it out one hit. Oof, next up is Snorlax. You know what? We still got the rain up. Gene should do pretty good damage here. Snorlax is a beast. I've said it before, but this is one of the best normal type Pokemon in the game. It has very high HP, very high special defense, which is why it took Gene's Thunder so well. And that's probably going to KO. Yep. Well done, Gene. You did your part. Yeah, this thing is a beast. I definitely need a strong physical attacker here. And I think Garnet is the girl for the job. I don't think this thing has anything that'll be really effective against Garnet. But we'll use Earthquake in order to strike its low physical defense, and we should be able to handle this thing. Snorlax is one of the team members on Red's team that could probably give you the most trouble, just because it is very strong. Both in how it's incredibly bulky, as well as being a good physical attacker, but Garnet managed to take it out pretty well. Again, if you have a good physical attacker, you can get past that Pokemon pretty easily. And the final Pokemon we have to face is Charizard. So for this boy, we are going to Jellian. Charizard's mainly a special attacker. Jellian not only resists Charizard's best attacks, but Jellian also has good special defense, so she should be able to handle Charizard very easily. Ooh, that wing attack's gonna do pretty good damage, though. Come on, Jellian, hang in there. Ooh, pretty good. We could have set up with Barrier to make her even more easily able to wall Charizard's physical moves, but I think we should be good here. Yeah, that Surf did a real number on it. Again, that's why I decided to go in this boss battle with these levels. Like, don't let Red's levels intimidate you. So sorry, Jellian, you deserved much better than that. But yeah, basically, don't let Red's levels intimidate you. His Pokemon are strong, but if you did a good job of building your team, you can still get through this fight if you are underleveled. Alright, don't really have a lot of good options here, so let's have Garnet use Takedown. Hopefully this should do enough damage. It's a good thing this thing has Fire Spin, which is not doing a lot of damage. And there we go. We took out Charizard. This battle is over. What can I say? Silence is golden. And that is the last battle of the game. So if you never heard a man on the internet's cover of the Trainer Red battle, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty good song. But yeah, that is the very last thing I wanted to cover for Pokemon Gold. This has been quite the journey. Been very much looking forward to doing this game ever since I finished up the Pokemon League in Leaf Green. And this playthrough's gone a lot better than I expected. Sure, we've had its hiccups from time to time and our share of delays, but it went by pretty quickly. I got this done in only a few months, which I'm very thankful for, compared to Leaf Green, which took like such a long time to actually finish. But yeah, it was very fun getting to revisit this game, getting to share my team and my experiences with everyone. This is probably going to be the last Pokemon game I play for a while. I do plan on getting to Emerald, but I'm probably not going to do that until much later in the year, just because I want to get into some fresh content and play some games that I have been very much looking forward to playing and getting to show off. But yeah, as we watch the Sentret dance, I just want to say thank you for being there and supporting us through this journey. It's been a very good one. So it's going to be a while before we return to the world of Pokemon. But next time, I will see you for a game that I've been very much looking forward to playing for many years, and I'm finally going to get the chance to play it and show it on Twitch, which it should be fun. Until next time, have a good night and take care.